Hello everyone. It's truly a pleasure to welcome you all to this session of our summer course program. My name is Siti Nuraini Hidayah and I'm honored to be your speaker for this session. In this session, we are going to talk about understanding blockchain from concept to implementation. Before we start with the concept, I want you all to imagine a world where you can trust a system without even knowing the people behind it. That's the promise of blockchain. So, what exactly is blockchain? Blockchain is a digital ledger or a database that is not stored in one place but distributed across many computers. Every record inside this ledger is transparent, secure, and once written, it cannot be changed or erased. It is shared among participants, making it highly resistant to tampering. It's like writing with permanent ink in thousands of notebooks at the same time. Everyone has a copy, but no one can secretly change it. Now, why do we even need blockchain? Because the old systems we rely on are no longer reliable. In many cases, trust depends on third parties. We need human intermediaries like banks and notaries to verify transactions. This slows things down and adds extra costs. Centralized databases are also vulnerable to fraud or hacking. If one server is compromised, the entire system can be at risk. And then there's inefficiency. For example, cross-border payments can take days just to reconcile records between different institutions. On top of that, many systems suffer from limited transparency. Blockchain addresses these problems: trust, transparency, efficiency, and security. So, how did blockchain first begin? In 1991, Haber and Stornetta proposed using cryptography for digital time stamping. In 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto published the Bitcoin white paper during the financial crisis, introducing a decentralized digital currency. In 2009, the first Bitcoin called Genesis block was mined. In 2015, Ethereum launched, introducing smart contracts and decentralized applications. Since then, blockchain has expanded beyond cryptocurrency into healthcare, government, real estate, and supply chains. What makes blockchain unique? Yes, there are three key characteristics. First, decentralization. Unlike banks or traditional institutions where one central authority controls the system, blockchain has no single leader. Decisions are made collectively by the network. It's like a group project where everyone has the same power. No one can take over. Second, transparency. Every transaction is visible to all participants. It's like a glass box. Everyone can see what goes in and out, leaving very little room for fraud or manipulation. And third, immutability. Once data is recorded, it can't be erased or changed. It's like sending an email. Once you hit send on an email, you can't take it back. The message is out there, just like a blockchain entry that can't be undone. These three features, decentralization, transparency, and immutability, are what give blockchain its power and its trustworthiness. How does blockchain actually work? Imagine Kevin wants to send money to Alice. First, his transaction is created digitally and encrypted using cryptography. Next, the transaction is sent to a network of computers called nodes. The nodes verify the details. For example, whether Kevin really has the balance to make the payment. Once the transaction is verified, it joins other verified transactions and forms a block. Using a consensus mechanism, the network agrees on which block is valid, and only that block is added to the chain. The node that successfully adds the block even gets a reward. Finally, the new block is linked to the previous ones through a unique code called a hash. Once the block is added, the transaction is complete. Alice receives the money, and then record is permanently stored in the blockchain. Now, are all blockchains the same? The answer is no. There are actually several types of blockchains. The first is public blockchain. This is the most open type. Anyone can access and participate in. Example, Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's like a public park, open for everyone, but sometimes crowded and slower. Second, we have the private blockchain. This is controlled by a single organization, and participation requires permission. It's like a private company database where only invited members can enter. The benefit is more privacy and faster transactions. Then, there is the consortium blockchain. Here, a group of trusted organizations work together. It's like a business alliance where multiple companies across industries share one secure system. For example, Quorum. And finally, the hybrid blockchain. This combines elements of both public and private. Some data is restricted, but other parts are visible to the public. It's like a semi-public building. Certain floors are open for everyone, while others are restricted. Examples including Dragon Chain. What is the benefit of adopting blockchain? First, operational efficiency. Blockchain removes third-party steps, so transactions are completed faster and with fewer mistakes. Second, high transparency. Every participant shares the same record, and anyone on the network can verify it. Third, data security. Each transaction is encrypted and linked to the one before, making tampering extremely difficult. Fourth, party trust. Verification is built into the system itself, allowing parties who may never meet face-to-face to still rely on the results. Fifth, improved accuracy. Without manual reconciliation by humans, errors are drastically reduced and data remains consistent. And finally, open and verifiable. Blockchain networks can be open for anyone to join or audit, and every one piece of data can be checked by the community. Of course, every technology comes with challenges, and blockchain is no exception. First, time consumption. Some blockchain networks require heavy computing power to validate transactions. This proof of work process can be slow. A single Bitcoin transaction once took hours to confirm. Second, scalability. As more users join, networks can become congested. When a popular NFT project launched, transaction fees spiked, and users had to wait in line just to get their data processed. Third, regulations and compliance. Different countries set different rules. While Switzerland welcomes crypto innovation, nations like China have imposed strict bans. This makes it hard to operate across borders. Fourth, energy consumption. Blockchain consumes large amounts of electricity. At one point, Bitcoin mining used as much energy annually as Argentina. Fifth, lack of digital literacy. Even with user-friendly apps, many people still don't fully understand how blockchain works. This slow adoption creates fear of making costly mistakes. So, how does blockchain apply in real-life sectors? First, finance. Platforms like Ripple and JP Morgan's Onyx use blockchain to send money across continents in just seconds. For example, Santander Bank used RippleNet to settle international transfers almost instantly, saving both time and transaction fees for millions. Second, healthcare. Medical records are some of the most sensitive data we own, but they are often scattered across hospitals and insurers. MediLedger and Burst IQ create a single, secure ledger for patient information and vaccine supply chains. Third, government. Imagine casting your vote online and knowing that it can't be changed. That's happening in Estonia. They use blockchain to power e-voting, protect citizen IDs, and stores government records. Every change is time-stamped and visible, making fraud nearly impossible and building public trust. Fourth, supply chain. Walmart with the IBM Food Trust can now track the journey of a single mango from farm to store shelf in just 2.2 seconds, a process that used to take nearly a week. Other than that, luxury brands like Louis Vuitton also use blockchain to verify the authenticity of handbags, protecting customers from counterfeits. The last one, property and real estate. Buying or selling property is often slow and expensive. It requires lawyers to verify titles and transfer ownership. But now, platforms like Propi use smart contracts to automate the entire transaction. Once buyer and seller agree on terms, the contract executes itself, recording immutable property deeds. Okay, yes, this is the reference that I use to present to these sessions. And then, last but not least, in conclusion, blockchain is more than just a technology. It provides a new way to build trust without intermediaries, ensures transparency through verifiable transactions, and enhance efficiency in various sectors. From finance to healthcare, government to real estate, blockchain is reshaping how we manage data and interactions. As adoption grows, it will continue to influence not only industries but also the way society organizes trust in the digital era. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you for watching.